Hello, I'm Destiny.
I'm Kyra.
And I'm Priya.
And we are Y.L.A.G.
Here with us today is Vonsi English, also known as Coach V, encouragement coach and founder of Perfect English Development Solutions.
The theme today is growing into our greatness. The 3 topics we'll be discussing is purpose, speaking into existence, and intentional decisions. How can we set ourselves in the right direction?
Well, setting yourself in the right direction, especially coming out of high school, I imagine that you've already been thinking about your future, thinking about what you're going to do. So while you're in school, you know, you're already starting to do that and making plans, deciding what college you're going to go to. So being able to go into the right direction really just means to hone in on your goals. So once you kind of, you know, establish some immediate goals, short-term goals and long-term goals, you'll be able to just keep a path to those goals, which will help you stay focused and stay on the right path.
Okay.
What's your perspective on speaking things into existence, and do you think it can sometimes have a negative effect?
Wow. Well, speaking things into existence, ladies, it's supposed to be positive, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But some people speaking into existence, it can be negative. So with words, I mean, have you ever heard that there is life and death in the power of the tongue?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right? So the same way you can kind of speak positive over yourself is also the same way that you can speak negative. So if you hear someone that's always going, oh, I'm stupid, 9 times out of 10, their actions is going to go in the direction of what they're saying. So speaking things into existence as you speak positively will help you go to that direction. So, I mean, let me just give you just a regular example. If we're all sitting here right now and we want ice cream, right?
Right.
And you're like, man, I really want some. What's your favorite ice cream?
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Same chocolate.
Chocolate?
Vanilla.
Vanilla, right? And I'm a strawberry girl. Yeah. So if you're like, man, I really want some ice cream right now. If you think about it long enough, you're going to go get some ice cream, aren't you?
Right.
Yes.
But then you're going to tell somebody like, I really want some ice cream. I really want some ice cream. So speaking things into existence usually always takes your actions that way, your thoughts. And so it can be positive, again, which is what it needs to be used for. However, some people can use it and it can be negatively used. So in the same way. Mm-hmm.
What do you think we should take on and leave behind for our future?
Well, taking on things, especially when you're going into your future, you want to be careful not to take on a lot. A lot of people tend to get overwhelmed. I mean, I even know adults, even myself, you know, you put so many things on your plate and that's where stress comes from. So going into your future, I would say, well, how about this, ladies? Let's address what you should leave behind. So people who have a positive outlook on life, that have goals to reach, you know, a lot of them may be surrounded with friends who aren't so positive.
Exactly.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you don't necessarily want to leave that friend behind, because you always got to show love to friends and love to people, but you want to make sure that you don't allow negativity and don't allow, you know, maybe circumstances that you haven't overcome, you want to deal with. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that actually gets me to thinking about leaving other things behind. In life, a lot of people go through disappointments. They may experience, you know, maybe death of a loved one or rejections or things like that. Maybe, I guess, you know, in high school, if a girl likes a boy, maybe he doesn't like her back and vice versa. Those things you need to address. So it's almost like facing your fears. You know, you face them before you take them into the next year. So one thing that I actually do, because I'm also an employment and advancement coach with by occupation. So one thing I do with my clients is I have them just kind of write out better goals. So I go, instead of New Year's resolutions, because everybody does. Do you guys do resolutions?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you a whole nother way to look at resolutions. So they're called better year goals. So you say, what do I want to do this year to better myself? Not necessarily a resolution, but just how do I want to become better this year? So I put a little question mark on my desk with 2019 to get them to start thinking about the next year. And what do you want to leave behind? So with your question, Priya, you may want to leave some things behind this year that you don't want to take into 2019. Because all of you graduating next year?
I'm not. I'm a junior.
Oh, that's okay.
Yes. Well, me and Destiny are graduating.
Okay, you two are graduating. Yes. So, yes. I mean, this will be a prime opportunity, and even as a junior, because you'll be going into your senior year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you go 2018, is there anything I didn't like about this year, or maybe anything that I want to leave behind in this year and not take it forward in the future?
Okay, so how can we break through barriers that we have on an everyday basis, basically?
Barriers. So barriers on an everyday. So, and I don't know if I'm talking, if you can think of a barrier, but barriers are what I call like level ups or obstacles. So when you get those level ups, you're looking at life and you're going, okay, this is a problem, right?
Right.
Either I can learn from it and grow, or I can let it break me and I can just kind of be down on myself. So some people just allow obstacles to kind of take them out the game. You don't want an obstacle to take you out of the game or maybe lose your focus. So, and could you repeat the question?
How can we break through barriers that we have?
Okay, so the first thing you can do is when you have a barrier, establish what is happening. How can you respond to it? How can you learn from the barrier? This will help you as you move forward, kind of develop your skills that you need throughout the rest of your school career, in college, or in a job, and even in a personal level. So say for instance, I had a client who had a barrier of a GED. He was looking for employment, and every opportunity that he tried to find, his barrier was GED. So either he could sit there and go, well, I'm just gonna give up because I don't have what it takes to reach that next level. Or you can go, you know what, I can really just put in the effort to achieve that. And that's what he did at 40 years old. So what he did, I have some people that are 60 still getting their GEDs. I mean, there is really no age limit to progression and development. Everybody has a different environment. So everybody grew up different, right?
Right.
So when people, especially you maybe watching at home, one thing that I really want to hit on is a lot of people tend to judge people's situation simply because of where they came from. And what I ask people to look at is, how would you have reacted if you had that same barrier? We can't say how we would have reacted, right? Because we weren't in that situation. So being able to look at the barrier, to overcome it, and then to find out what you can learn from it will probably be, the best way to approach that. But to get back to the client, you know what? He has passed 2 out of the 4 parts of his GED. And he said, I never thought that I would have even a part of my GED, because he's a street hustler, he was not really concerned with getting a legitimate job. So he could have fared just well, but he wanted to do better for himself. He wanted to make a better life for himself and head down that right path.
Okay.
Do you think speaking things into existence sometimes take away from the effort that we put into reaching our goal?
So speaking things into existence, you always have to put forth an effort, right? So do your grades just come by themselves? No. You do.
Starting every quarter off, I have to speak my grades into existence. I'm going to get straight A's. I'm going to get on honor roll. That's how I do it.
Really?
And it falls through for me. So.
It does. So do you study?
Yes, I study.
Do you study?
Sometimes.
Do you study?
It depends on.
It depends on the subject.
Yeah, it sometimes does depend on the subject.
Sometimes it comes like
just naturally, like you just pick it up.
Yeah.
You need to study for it.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, so I mean, with the efforts, I mean, so you all would agree that an effort is needed, right? So it doesn't do any good just to just speak it, because I can say, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire, but then if I sit at home on the couch all the time and I don't do anything to better myself, do you think I will reach millionaire status?
Oh no.
No, you can't do that. You got to put forth some sort of effort. So speaking into existence is so fun for me, because being an encouragement coach and being able to see, I mean, I just thank God for the gifts that he has given me and the gift of encouragement. And people are hurting nowadays. People feel like maybe they haven't achieved their best life, or maybe they don't know which direction to go in. So to be able to encourage someone and to say that's your job, say that you're, you know, I've had a few people that after coaching them, and the one day I said, you know, this is going to be your job. They go, how do you know? Because you have to speak it into existence. And doing that, it's a force within you that kind of guides you to positive things, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, ladies. We're speaking into existence. We're going to try this. We're going to try this week. I'm going to give you a homework assignment to speak something into existence.
Okay.
Yes.
How long does it typically take you to find your purpose, or is there like a time limit?
That's a good question. So there is not a time limit to finding your purpose. There is really not. Everything to me, and what I have actually grown to know and to learn, is that everything is based on your spiritual creation. And we all were given different gifts. We all are unique in our own way, and we all have a different purpose. So to go back to that question and just kind of think on it a little bit, I have a few friends, lady friends, a lot of entrepreneurs that are very supportive in the community, and they do a lot of good work in helping people overcome stuff. So having that, well, let me go back. So being able to, what was the question again?
How long does it take you to find your purpose, or is there like a time limit?
How long? Okay, so some things happen to certain people in life, right? So I believe you all did a segment on mental health.
Yes. Correct.
Right? So some people are mentally abused, maybe have child abuse growing up, and they've overcome it, right? Do you all know anybody who's overcome any child abuse, mental abuse, or?
Yes, a little bit. They have some problems, so.
Yeah, so they're dealing with some things, right, that maybe some of us wouldn't be used to dealing with. So your purpose a lot of times is going to be linked to what you've experienced in your life. So for instance, I've experienced a lot of death in my life. When I was 2 months old, my biological father, separated himself from my mother and I. And then when I was 16, I was adopted, but then I had that father who passed away of a heart attack at 16, and then I had a stepfather who just passed away last year. So after losing him, I had to go right into a brand new job, and I was an employment and advancement coach. So you ask yourself, how could somebody, have that hurt and that loss and then go right into helping someone else? And I had to learn to rely on God and the strength of him, and just to use those gifts. So even where you are nowadays, at school, you're going to experience something that maybe a younger sibling may come into. Any of you have younger brothers or sisters?
Yes.
Yes. So you're the older one that they're looking up to you. You're the older one? Yeah, so you're going through things that eventually you're going to have to talk to them and kind of help them through. And your purpose is pretty much the same thing. When you go through things in life, you go through things that are meant to help other people.
Okay. Do you believe that society is chasing goals that they see, such as like on social media? And how do you feel about that?
Well, chasing goals. So some people that I've seen chase goals, they didn't necessarily know what their purpose was.
Exactly.
Right. They just maybe saw the next person do it, or saw that it was cool, or saw that it was trending, and go, oh, I think I'm going to do that.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, how do you all feel? I mean, because this is a conversation about chasing goals. I mean, anything that you think that maybe you see in social media that...
I feel like you see that a lot today, like how you say, like, people may not have a purpose, but but are kind of just chasing after something because they see other people doing it. And it's like it kind of takes them off track of what they could be possibly doing to reach their goals.
That's true.
And also, I feel like a lot of people are just doing things for money. A lot of people are just chasing money. They're not doing something that's going to make them happy, you know, genuinely happy. They're just doing it for the money. And I think that's a problem, actually. So
it is a problem. Priya, have you looked at anything on social media, or no, not really? Okay, that's fine. So, and you brung that up as far as money goes. I mean, I just want to just establish that your purpose is not always about the money. I left a job in human resources. I had over 18 years of experience training, developing people, and going into the coach mode. I'm like, I want to help people one-on-one. I want to help people, you know, develop themselves before they get the job. And so a lot of people, oh, you got an office now? And I'm like, but I didn't get a pay increase. I'm doing it from the heart. I'm doing it to help somebody else and to help serve people. So love and service, actually, it's priority.
Okay. What is your definition on speaking into existence?
So the definition of speaking into existence, in my opinion, would be to speak something as you would like to see it. So it's just like faith. Have you ever heard faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen? You just create it. So when you speak it into existence, it's something that you want to happen. I always tell my clients, don't fear what you think will happen. Have faith in what you want to happen.
When talking about purpose in life, how do you know when you have fulfilled your purpose?
Ooh, that is a good question. So being in the position as an encouragement coach and as an employment and advancement coach, I learned that I was fulfilling. So it's an ongoing thing when you fulfill your purpose. It's an ongoing process. You continue to develop in the position that you're in. So I knew just in my spirit and in my heart that as people came into the office, they were hurting. You know, they had life's problems like everybody else. Like, I can't pay my bills. I can't find a job. My kids can't get in school. I got to do this. I don't have a car. I mean, this is a lot of things that people deal with now, you know? And I mean, it's at the forefront, which is why when Destiny, you were talking about people chasing money, is because they see that as an immediate need. If I had money, it would solve all of my problems. And that's not always the case. So when you know that you're fulfilling your purpose, you know what gifts God has given you that He wants you to use for someone else. So as people were coming in, I knew my job was to help somebody keep from being down on themselves or keep from crying or
Exactly.
So, but I mean, like you all said, it's not always about the money, but yes, fulfilling your purpose is ongoing.
What should we tell a friend if they want to be something and they talk down upon themselves?
Well, so as we've been talking about speaking positive and speaking things into existence, I mean, do you all have any idea? I mean, if you do have a friend, what would you tell them?
That they can do anything they want to do if they just put their mind to it.
Right?
If you think it, it'll happen. Speak it into existence.
Yes, yes, Priya, yes. So, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, somebody who's down on themselves, maybe they don't have the support that they need at home. Maybe they don't feel loved. Maybe they just, you know, are in a depression. So, you know, to tell somebody to go, hey, you can do great things. You were created to do great things. I mean, you all are young ladies aspiring greatness. And the whole theme of growing into my greatness is going, I can do anything I need to do, anything I want, and I can make it and be successful.
So putting your mind to it, basically.
Putting your mind to it, yes. Yes, ladies. Putting your mind to things is always great, right? So just let me, just tell me, how long have you been in Y.L.A.G?
I think since like my freshman year.
Freshman year? Okay.
This will be my third year.
Third year?
This is my first year, but I always helped out like during my sophomore year, and I'm a senior now, so.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what does it mean to be intentional?
being intentional. Do it on purpose.
Okay.
Don't just do something. Don't just do it and, expect a certain result. Being intentional means that you make decisions on purpose. You actually make decisions on purpose. So in all honesty, I have a few pointers that I would like to go over.
Okay.
Okay? All right. Being intentional. So as we talk about things, Destiny, as we were talking earlier, did you have another question that you needed to ask me? No?
I think I did.
Okay. That's okay. All right. So, yes, Y.L.A.G ladies. So basically everything that we talked about today, I want to say how important it is to tell you that God created you for a spiritual purpose. God created you for a spiritual purpose to glorify Him by loving and serving others. Now, you all do a lot of community service, don't you?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of pictures. I've seen you participating, helping serve food at the food bank, was it?
Yeah.
And so being able to do those things, you're actually showing the love of God and connecting with your spiritual purpose. He is your life's foundation. So that is a very important part to know, that you won't know your purpose unless you connect with Him. Reading His Word daily and maintaining a close relationship with Him is how I've gotten over a lot of bad stuff in life, just to keep you strong and strengthen your spirit. It helps. It does help.
Okay. Did I go over about if you fail, like, is it good to always fail? Did we go over
No,
that?
we didn't.
Okay, so is it always good to fail, like, at something that you're working hard for?
Failure, which everybody goes through it. Failure is something that you can learn from. Do you know any of you play sports?
I do.
No.
Well, I ran track last year for the first time, so that was different for me.
Okay, so playing sports, right? You're not going to win every game.
Yeah.
Right? So just to learn from failures, to say, how could I have done things differently? And you could have given it your all and still have maybe not been as successful as you like. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're a failure. It just means that at that point in time, maybe someone else's skills, someone else's faith, someone else's timing was right at that point.
And I know I've had kind of a personal situation with that, with my basketball team, where we kind of always hit this barrier. We always make it to a certain place in our tournament at the end of the season, and we've always lost. Last year was the second year in a row that we lost to the same team. So it's we always are trying to figure out ways where we can get over that barrier. So this year, hopefully we beat that team and get past that barrier.
You will beat that team. Speaking into existence.
Speaking into existence, and you will beat that team.
Yes. So just a few more pointers I want to leave with you all. Now, to fulfill your purpose, you must recognize the level ups. You got to recognize them. So when stuff comes that are barriers, you got to go up. Let me refocus, let me see what I can learn, and let me go forward. Those could be things that make you uncomfortable situations, roadblocks, obstacles that come out of nowhere, strange happenings. So something that you find a strange happening to you, use it as a level up. And that'll help you, prepare for future situations. Grow your faith, and then you can help others through your experiences.
Okay.
Also, positive thoughts. You ladies speak pretty positive, think pretty positive?
Yes.
Yeah. Working on it.
Working on it. We're always working. I'm still working on it, Destiny.
Yes.
But that is the key to be able to speak things into existence, is to think positive and speak positive. So what does God say you're capable of? I know that there's one scripture that I actually love, Matthew 19:26, that says, with God, all things are possible. So all means all things, right? So speaking life. So I always say speak life daily. Speak life over yourself. You must believe to achieve. So not only positive thoughts and words help you fulfill your purpose, but you got to believe what you're saying. You can't just say it. You got to believe it in your heart and go forward. So you can't see faith, but you can believe it. You can speak things into existence and to create them by faith. Next is be intentional. I know we talked about that. Being intentional and making decisions on purpose. What is your why? Why are you doing it? And as you walk in your purpose, you begin to know your why as decisions happen. And having faith requires patience. So do not forget that don't be so hard on yourself. That's what I have to say. Don't be so hard on yourself if something comes up. Don't let anybody tell you what you're not capable of or what you can't do. Just believe it in your heart, and you will make mistakes. I will tell you this, but I don't like saying mistakes. Wrong decision at the wrong time. But be positive while you're waiting on stuff. Timing, ladies, is everything. It's everything. And the last one, it really just is about the scripture that I founded Perfect English Development Solutions on. It is about your gifting. Romans 11:29 says the gift and the call of God are irrevocable. Do you all believe that you are called? You have a gift. You have a purpose?
Yes.
Yes. So no matter what age you are, that gift will never go away. That call will never go away. You can always step into your purpose, whether you're 18 or whether you're 68. You can always step into your purpose.
Okay, and we would like to thank Coach V for talking today with us.
Yes.
For our segment on expanding our greatness.
And don't just work, but employ your gift. Don't forget that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
ladies. Thank you.